Attention, attention, attention. This is the Townnet A of the day. Oh, just a minute. Okay, this is the Townnet 8 of the day. If you are around and would like to check in, please come in with your call sign phonetically. Reminder to all that the net is being recorded for training purposes. You may begin.
Ticket number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha.
Ticket number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf.
Anyone else? Check in, check in, check in, check in.
Ticket number 3, Kilo Alpha India.
Welcoming. So we have Kite. Anyone else? Oh man, we need to get more people to check in, eh? It's too quiet. Way too quiet. More people. Come on, come on, come on. Someone like post a message online, Net. Come on. Check in. Okay then. We'll begin. So, we'll start with a warm up round and see if anyone want to check in later. So, interesting morning. Today I have to kind of, well, symbolically do my catting. So I'm not doing a whole hour. And I use that time to do a few things. One, I was at ChatGPT and trying to create something that helps me to translate my books, the scriptures. So the first attempt was a failure because like it created a website to do that, but it needs to use the API key of my GPT. And turn out like it did created the whole thing, it will work, but just that you need to put money in. So it's going to cost money for everything you do there, like a token. So I don't like that idea. So I said, okay, why not do it in another way? So it created like a whole big prompt with different stages. And so every time I can just like give it a file with the Chinese and everything, and then it will do the same thing to create the same kind of output to translate. So that can be used inside GPT itself. So I'm happy with that. So yeah, that worked. That worked. So at least I got a fruit for the future project, and it will be much easier to translate the books. And then I went to do my full work. I did all the Daiji Fu, 36 Fu there, and Chick Fu as well. So it's all done and prepared for the weekend. Wow. And then there is some practice of magic. And also I went back to ChatGPT and was trying to teach it the concepts of our celestial medic stuff, the Tao medic. And at the same time, because I was trying to explain it, I'm trying to explain things to the others, like, how the ginseng works and all that. And eventually that brings us to a lot of good replies from ChatGPT. So it turns out that based on ChatGPT's knowledge of the traditional Chinese medicine, TCM, our stuff is actually very alike with TCM. So yeah, a lot of the common misunderstanding that I used to say, like, people get it wrong, ChatGPT also knows. For example, like when we say the organ, the heart, the kidney, it's not about the physical organ that you see in the diagrams. So we don't talk like the Western doctor, like, oh, your kidney have issue. It has nothing to do with the actual organ kidney that they talk about. So we're actually talking about different things. And turn out, based on ChatGPT, right, it say that, yeah, the TCM is like that too. It's talking about like the kidney system. It's like a department, right? A system. So I got the same kind of thing from the ex-disciple who is a TCM doc, and he said the same too. So it's kind of fun, like, yeah, I know TCM, and I have read a lot of books before, but now it's like, yeah, the GPT is like, it has a whole system inside. So it can answer any TCM system question, right, based on its database. So it should know more than me in terms of TCM. So I'm talking to it, and it actually kind of clarify a lot of things for me as well. So that's kind of fun. Okay, let's pass the mic. Tina number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha.
Tina number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha. Good afternoon, everyone on the net. Shashwangi Zhang. It is very cool that we have this technology that can correlate and also do a little bit of linking up things that seem a little hard to understand, and then spit it out in a way that the reader can relate to it at any level. We could literally tell it, hey, break this down at the level of a 5th grader, and this thing can do it. That would be, that's amazing. That is so amazing. I'm really grateful to be alive, because there's so many technologies, like the translators, like you can wear a device in your ear now, and this thing can translate over 100 languages for you in any language of your choice, just by you listening. And you can talk back to them in their language, just like you would in real time. That is so amazing to me. I'm absolutely impressed with everything that this technology is doing. It's like a genie that just comes out of this, device that we have, or the programming. And I do wonder sometimes if it's not just an algorithm. I wonder if sometimes it's sentient, but maybe not. It probably isn't sentient, maybe. But if it were, I would wonder. I really would. I wonder about a lot of stuff of that ethical nature of that, if there's such a thing. So, ticket number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha.
Yeah, the AI is so amazing. I heard that ChatGPT was trying to learn language, and it tried to learn English, like learn things based on English, and it took them a lot of effort to like master the whole thing. And then it tries to learn Chinese, and it took them like much less effort and it already got the language. So it's kind of funny. Like most people would think Chinese is a very complicated language compared to English because there's so many words and all the words are so complicated. It looks like, you can't understand it. It's like alien language, just symbols. And then there are like thousands and thousands of them that you have to remember. It's just so crazy. But somehow for the AI, that Chinese language is actually better for it to understand than English. So in a way, it's like the AI found the logic behind something like that, and then it just know what to do. It's so amazing. So I don't know how that actually worked, but I saw that on a few videos, and they're talking about like training the AI. And it's amazing how Chinese become an easier language if you got the logic right. So, yeah. Anyway, let's pass the mic to TNet number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf.
TNet number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf. Good day to Sergeant Gijan. Good day to my seniors and my juniors and the creepers at the back. Well, Sergeant, the Chinese language, I also felt it was pretty complicated too, because when I look at all these different symbols and stuff, it just completely overwhelmed me and confused me. And if the AI has figured out a way to make it more simple, I'm really curious to find out what was the logic behind it. I do know people who come in from a different language who's usually coming to learn English have a pretty tough time, because the English language is this melting pot or salad bowl of a cultural logic, not so much of a common sense logic. So it's you have to be in it to know it. So yeah, it takes some time. But and I also came across the headphones that Hasija was talking about on TikTok. Yeah, that's pretty cool. These headphones that could translate in real time, and you don't necessarily need to learn a language. So the point of learning languages now is probably for like your own self growth, but for generally speaking, for work purposes or traveling purposes, you could actually have one of those headphones and go on a trip and just communicate with people. And something I'm very curious about, Sajran, every time I see you do the foods in such a quick time, I'm just really fascinated by it, because it's like watching a professional athlete run like Usain Bolt, who run so quickly. Like yeah, I know it takes time, and you have to build up your muscles to be able to do that. But I also remember you said you don't use energy as inefficiently as we do when we're doing foods, and I was wondering, what is your cultivation practice that you usually do when you build up the chi or the fat lick? I know I can't do it right now. I haven't reached there, but I remember you said you have like this battery pack of stored up power for whenever you need it, you just pull it, so you don't be using your own or something along those lines. I'm not 100% sure, but I remember we had that conversation, so maybe we could explore that on this net. And also, I'm excited about the ceremony this weekend. What do we need to get printed, or how well should be prepared? And I also have these Sunku videos coming today to show you that I've been I have an idea of it, and just want to be prepared and prep for Saturday. This is Tinyat number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf.
Don't worry so much. As long as you have your letter for submission, everything else you should be okay. Don't worry so much. Even if you're not ready with the Suncute and all that, is fine. I'll guide you through it. That's not a big problem. Okay. Eventually, you should more rely on me to make things possible instead of just you, right? So if you are missing something, you will have in your mind, no matter what I miss, Sajon is going to make it work. Right? That's the mindset you should have. The real-time translation with the AI, actually, my phone can't do that. I'm using a Samsung S24 Ultra, and they have live interpreter or something like that, or whatever they're called. So it's like it has like a B side, and so you open that thing, and the other side speak. It will record, and then it will translate to your side as another language. And then when you speak, the other side will see the other language in their language, kind of like that. And you can even do like when you have a phone call, you can use like text. So whatever they say, it turns into text, and it translate for you. So you can answer back, and it will like kind of spit out the text for the other side or something like that. I haven't really used those features, but it is there in my phone. So I was very amazed of it too. Like if you're on a trip, right? Like that would be very useful, especially like going to Korea, Japan. You don't even speak that language. So yeah. And also the camera, like you can take a picture of something and then you select and it will just translate that part. So like road signs or where's the washroom, whatever road is this, right? It can do that. Like so nice with a phone in your hand, you can snap a picture and then you can even like, oh, what is this product? And it immediately just get you the website and everything related to that product. So crazy. So about the like that part, I will get into that after Kai speak because it's kind of long. But yeah, I'll talk about that in a bit. So Tina number 2, Kilo Alpha India.
Tenet number 2, Kilo Alpha India. Would like to greet everybody in the net and Sajon Kitao. The technology that is happening right now. I remember when I was chatting with one of the guys in the Uber. I spoke about learning the languages, like different languages. And the other guy was suggesting, like, my friend, you must try to learn Chinese because there's a lot of Chinese people who are looking for translators. You can make a lot of money and stuff like that. And it sounded like a very good idea at the point, but now I don't think it's a good idea considering the technology we have these days. It won't get me anywhere if I can learn that language because obviously the technology is doing it so fast and so quick. So, but then again, obviously, it's very hard. I don't know whether it reached to the point where it translate. For example, I can copy and paste sometimes if I want to translate something and paste it on Google and do whatever. But I don't know if it gets to the point where it will actually translate the sound because I've been struggling to, like, for example, if it's a voice note or a sound or whatever that is, maybe you are watching YouTube, then there's no subtitles in there. So I don't know whether it has arrived to the point where it will translate whatever they're saying, like on the video for me. Like, yeah, I don't know. I'm not so sure, but the way things are, I believe it has arrived to that, but I'm not aware if the technology does that at this point. TNet number 2, Kilo Alpha India, back to you.
Kai, what you're looking for is called AI dubbing, DUB, dubbing, and it's already in progress. Google has done it, and YouTube has done it. Yeah, they're getting very good. So it can be done. Like even my videos, you can like choose different language, and it just plays out that audio. So yeah, that is AI dubbing. It is already there. Now, the other one is live translation, which is a different thing. That one also is real and it's used everywhere already. I was watching another show where they have singers from all over the world and they go and compete So some singers they speak in like, for example, the Thai language. Some speak in Vietnamese. Some speak in English. So when they speak, the judge don't understand what they are saying. So the judge has a earpiece that hooks onto the ear, and it just live translate their stuff to English, and then they can like talk back, and then they will understand. So everyone is using those things. Another one is live translation during some like legal stuff. Like it was in one of the drama, the KJ. The KJ is like about legal things. Like yeah, people are like talking about going to court and things like that. And they have like this earpiece that they put on the ear, and it will live translate. So yeah, that you just need the sound and it translate back. It does work like that. So yeah, there are things like this. There are also cheaper alternatives. It looks like a stick, a little stick, and that stick is like you speak into it. It just like about 0.5 seconds, and then it will speak out your sentence in the other language. So that will happen to be the cheapest version, and it's good for tourists. You know, like if you go somewhere else and you don't speak their language, you can use that. So you speak one time, and then you give them the stick. They listen, and then they speak to the stick, and you listen. Right, kind of like that. And now you can even download something on your phone like this, the Google Translate. It works like that too. So anyway, I used up the quote of speaking already. Oh my goodness. Okay. Anyone want to check in? We're moving on to the top again. TNet number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha.
Ticket number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha. Um, Language and translation of language, you know, it's just like we use GPT. I think sometimes not every word can translate the best. So I'm kind of wary of those kinds of things, of the real-time translation. I think you have to have a little bit of awareness of what it is that you're actually trying to convey, because English is so hard. It's multiple meanings, multiple spellings, multiple context use. It isn't as straightforward as some other languages, because it's a bunch of other types of stuff being involved with it. So it's very amazing to me that Chinese is even better, is easier to understand than other types of languages. And I wonder how it is with the medical system, the translation of how, I mean, this thing may have, I understand that it's very, very old, and the body is older, right? So if we're utilizing the English translation to layer on a medical system, I imagine those translations would hold valid and would mean the same, but not in the same context, because like Shajan said, kidney is not the actual organ, liver is not the actual organ. And then, to try to make people who don't have a background in that understand it better. There's even systems when I believe that there is, if I understand it correctly, there is a organ chart, not organ chart, a time associated with each organ. Like the liver is active between 1 a.m. and 3 a.m. and or the bladder is doing something else at this time, and it's like on a 12-hour system. I think maybe Shajan might know about it. I've seen it, but I don't understand it. So it's like if you wake up in the middle of the night, this is because this organ is active, or if you wake up and go at the bathroom at this time, this is why it's happening. I've always seen that system, but never really quite understood how it worked. So, ticket number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha.
I actually talked about that before. You forgot. I talked about that already. Um, so if you think the heart, the organ, the bladder is about the physical thing, then the whole thing doesn't make sense. Okay. Basically, to let you understand it, it's about the chi flow of the major lock. Okay. And so if you look at the same chart that we do for the D1 to D9 in the 9 square, right? Then you can understand that whole flow. So the bottom at the north is 11 to 1 midnight. And then every block, there's like, okay, the diagonal blocks, there's like 4 hours. And then non-diagonal, there's like 2 hours. So there goes the whole 24 hours. So every 2 hours a period. And if you count like that, you can count where the chi flow is by the major lock. So if you always wake up in like the middle of the night around 3 o'clock, okay, so if you count like, okay, the north is 11 to 1, so 1 to 3, 3 to 5, so you're on what? You're on block 3, right? Block 3, so the water zone. So that's like the problem is when the chi is flowing down and reaching to your local body, the water zone, right? It have issue, then you wake up and you break. So it's just like that. And the organs, it's all about the flow of these 1 to 9. Same thing. Okay. So yeah, it's more easy to understand if you put it in this chart. Anyway, I got to go to the Fartlek. Okay. So yeah, Chung asked the question. So let's break it down into a few phases to understand why you're so tired after doing the full work. So you have 2 types of power. One is the post-heaven and one is the pre-heaven. The post-heaven power is like they have this property of the more you use, the more you don't have. Kind of like batteries, kind of like fuel in the car, right? Money, everything in the post-heaven is like that, right? The more you use, the more you don't have. So when you are non-stop using your post-heaven powers to do the full work, then the more you will feel drained. Okay? So you're tired, right? That's what happened. So the other one is the pre-heaven powers, like the power in your heart or in the Yun San. The more you use that, the more energetic it became, the more you have. So one way you can understand it is like, for example, a musician that is very oh shit, I'm OT. Okay, let me finish this. The musician is very good at his playing, right? He don't need to think at all. So he just play the music by the heart and it's automatic, improvise. It's like he don't need to care about any script, note, timing. He have nothing. He just plays. The more he plays, the more high he is, the more energetic he becomes. Or like people who are professional gamers, right? They can play the game. The more they play, the more awake they are, not the more tired they are, because they're using their heart to do it. It's like, you know, why some gamer, like they just press the keyboard and move the mouse like they don't even need to think. And if you look at it from the side, you know, like they're playing this shooter game and you see the game screen, it's just like flash, 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 flash. One window open, one window closed. It's like split second. Like, what the hell did you just do? You try to catch them changing their equipment, changing their guns and whatever, right? You can't see it from the side. It's so fast. But they know what they're doing. Their heart knows. So it's like, yeah, when they're in that mode, they're very fast. They are very powerful. And they get more and more energetic, more and more awake because they're using their pre-heaven powers. Okay, let's go on to the number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf.
Tenured number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf. Well, Sajuan, that right there makes a lot of sense because I've seen musicians play for hours and I'm like, how are they not getting tired? And these are people who have been playing for like 40, 30 years or all their lives and they don't have to think. They don't even need to watch the paper to read it. So I can totally understand when you use that analogy. But my question now would be, how do how do we do that without spending all that amount of time or decades and years to sink the information into us? Because that's a very long, slow process. And I mean, if there's no other way to do it, well, then I'll just have to grind it out. It is what it is. But if there's another way to get to that place, I would really like to know because I could apply that teaching to other disciplines within my life where I don't have to spend thousands and thousands of hours because science say to become a master of something you need to spend like what 10,000 hours or some crazy figure like that. And that is where it goes into your subconscious and all that sort of bullshit. But the fact that you're actually not using your post heaven, you're using pre heaven is amazing because if you just using your pre heaven, it kind of reminded me of this kung fu movie or maybe it was a documentary. I can't remember. I can't remember right now, but I remember one of the kung fu masters was saying, "Yeah, we don't use physical power to strike, we use some other kind of power." And it kind of sounds like that, because you're not using your physical energy. You're not trying to focus and do this thing from a mechanical, physical standpoint. You're drawing your energy from somewhere else. And I always thought that was like a fairy tale or that's not possible. They just bullshitting, but you just told me the same things. Like, yeah, I not using my physical energy, Chung. I using something else. And the first time you said it, I was like, well, the first time you mentioned it with me, Shang, Xia Hong, and Li Xia Hong, I was like, wait, what? He's not using his physical energy. So where is he getting it from? Is he using the seven hidden stars? Is that why he give it to us so that could recharge us? Like, what is going on? And yeah, so yeah, I still have so many more questions, but back to you. Tenet number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf.
Okay. Number one, uh, there is a way for someone like you now to just use the pre-heaven. But there's a but. The but is that final solution. But I can let you know how. Like in case you really need magic to happen and you need to pump out a fool to do work. Okay? So you see, first, the heart need to know the purpose of what you're trying to do. So you look at the food, right? For example, it's a body cleansing food. Okay, you know the food is for body cleansing, and you kind of know what the word kind of mean, right? Okay, now you know. So you know the parts, like the tickling and everything. You kind of know what they are, right? So the point is, when you don't care about the physical, and you kind of like scribble around very quickly without thinking. So you scribble the whole food out, and the middle, right? You have a lot of Chinese word, so you kind of know what they say, and you just use a zigzag scribble kind of thing to represent the whole thing. I don't give a shit. I'm like a doctor writing, boom, and then like, yeah, that means that. So you get it, right? Now, because you're not thinking, your heart is doing the job because you're not thinking. And you have to be confident about like this stroke is this is this is this. You need to know what it is. And then you just like let it go, let it fly. So your food look like some scribble lines, right? But because you know what it is, okay, then you just keep going, do everything, and stamp, and then you check the food. It'll work, and that will not cost you it will not make you tired or drained or whatever, and the God will still know about what you want, and the food will still work because you're purely using the pre-heaven. Okay. However, if you just do that all the time, you're not going to get better, and you're going to be stuck in a loop of laziness because you're not actually building anything. So you're not getting better and better. You're just, yeah, it works, like, yeah, it works, but it's just that. So the real um, gain, or the like, you're not supposed to get to this point right away. So you're supposed to like build stuff into the heart so that the heart actually will have that stuff. Then when you go like this style, the pre-heaven, it will look like like people who try to imitate cursive while they don't know English words, versus like you really know how to write, but you just choose to do the cursive style and make it fast. It's very different, right? Yeah. So same thing with the food. Okay. So when you actually grind, you're actually building and cultivating those stuff into your heart. The more you do it, the more you know it. Like Lay do the food many times, many years. So now it gets faster and faster and faster because he actually know the words. He know how to write the chickling. He know how to do the loops. Like you actually know it by heart. You know it so well. Then when you want to speed up and not think, it will go the right way and you have a lot of power behind. So you're packing things into the heart while you're grinding. And that is a process I have been through all my life. Okay, like I have done a lot of these things. So anyway, tier number 2, Kilo Alpha India.
Tenet number 2, Kilo Alpha India. I'd like to get back to that topic about the technology and the ChatGPT and the AI. There was there was news here. I think it's the University of Cape Town, that is UCT. They were discussing the fact that the students are using the AI on their assignment in the education. So it's kind of doing everything for the student, but then the professors and everybody else they was very concerned about that kind of things, because apparently they find out that the students are not doing much. Everything is done by the AI. So there was a discussion whether they should proceed with that or not. But I don't know. I don't know what was the outcome of that. But apparently, that is something that is everywhere. And I was thinking like whether that will like replace the doctors and everybody else. But apparently, that the technology is also helping the lawyers finding the research of the previous cases in courts and stuff. So it's contributing a lot, because I did ask AI about that. So I find out that they are actually doing it. It makes their research very easy on their field. Tenet number 2, Kilo Alpha India. Back to you.
Yeah. The school issue. I mean, anyone in the world today who are doing business, they use AI. No one don't use AI. So if you're like a student and the school is like, no, we don't let you use AI because of whatever. Well, it's the school is having a problem, because when the kid grows up, they see like everywhere people are doing AI. No one is not doing it, right? So you just wasted all that years not using this and learning how to use it. The AI is not like you just talk to it and then it will be good, right? You need to learn how to use it. So if you say like in school they have problem with AI, what about like grammar check? Like spelling checker? Well, yeah, you should learn how to spell your words. You're not supposed to use a spelling checker. It's crazy. So you're supposed to learn how to draw a straight line. You don't need a ruler, right? What the hell? AI is just a tool. It's not replacing your learning. You still need to learn. It's like I need to know my stuff, and then I talk to AI and help me make my stuff better in a way. But I need to know something from the beginning first. So schools they have to adopt to that. Like they have to like find a way to change their old school system so that it actually fit our future world. The school system today is actually not good for the future. That's the problem. The way they teach, the direction they're going for. A lot of the things they teach in school is a waste of time. And it's like, yeah, you learn all that stuff, but when you grow up, you don't use it. Seriously, like I go to school, most of the stuff I learn, I don't use it when I'm here now. Why do I go to school all that years trying to learn and get good grade and then end up I don't use any of that stuff? Right? It's so stupid. So yeah, the school needs to teach people things that they actually need in life, not like just trying to fill up the gap and then like, yeah, we're gonna teach you everything, chemistry, biology, science, all that stuff. It's like, yeah, I don't need that. When I grow up, I don't need to know about this stuff. So it's more like a school system issue. It's actually nice. It's a good wake up call for the school academic industry to see that they need to change. You see, if people learn better life skills and virtues, then the world today in USA will be better. But no one learned those things, and people grow up. They can't even take care of themselves. Like you went to school, you got a diploma, you can't even do like normal house cleaning, or you don't even know how to do your tax or whatever. Like what the right? Yeah, that's the problem. TN number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha.
Tanya number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha. That is very true. They don't teach a lot of life skills anymore in the school systems. It's not really their position to do that anyway. Some things, that is. You should have already had at least some exposure on how to um, meet your needs. You need a certain amount of income. You need a certain amount of decor. You need a certain amount of communication skills. You need to have the ability to cook. You need to have the ability to feed yourself properly, the proper nutrition, how to sew, how to iron, how to do basic cleaning in your home, how to fix things on yourself, on your car, in your home. Basic first aid kit should be up to date. What's in it? How often? Clean it up. Are things old? Throw them out. Replace them. There are some things that you should already know before you get to be of age, a certain age. And they don't teach a lot of that. And some parents are even too inept to do that. They may not have shown some people. I can't tell you the number of women that I've run across who don't know their bodies and don't know how to take care of their bodies properly. And so it's very concerning when we run into younger women who have said, I don't know proper hygiene. I don't know what it means when this happens or that happens. And they don't feel comfortable, or they don't know how to ask if something is going on with them, especially if they're having problems. And so they go to the doctor, of course, and then they come back with stuff and they go, well, I guess that worked, but I don't know how I got there. So I guess I'll just keep going. So there's a lot to be said for just knowing how to grow and paying attention to yourself and your surroundings. Not everybody's going to teach you everything, but at least if you know how to ask and when to ask the question, that can go a long way in helping you get through some things that pop up in your life. Ticket number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha.
I am not a big fan of China, but the China kindergarten is very amazing. Have you seen those videos? The kids, like they're very, very young and they can cook, they can build houses, they can do the bricks and cement and everything. They can at least clean up their own bed, fold clothing, do all the chores. Wow. It's so wow. This morning I saw a Chinese girl. It's like a TikTok video. So the Chinese girl is like 5 years old or something, right? And the video shows her like she get up before the father, and then she was like going around the place with a little ladder because she's not tall enough to reach the sink. So she bring the ladder around, and she would like go brush her teeth, wash her face, put on the cream, get herself ready, change. And then she would be like, "Oh, it's early. Let me put the buns into the steamer and like steam the buns for breakfast." And then she would like cook a congee and things like that. And after she's done cooking, oh, it's about time. The first bowl of congee, right? She take out the congee, one bowl, and she walked to the father, and the father wakes up seeing that bowl of congee. And then she go to the kitchen, and then she make her own breakfast in a plate, and then she sit into her little chair and she start eating her meal. And then that's not it. She went to the cat litter box and start cleaning the litter box. And then she put the litter into the bag, the garbage bag, right? And then she have this like little toy car. It doesn't run on any electricity. It just has wheels and it had the back. So she sit on it, and she put the bag at the back, and she kind of like paddle it with the legs, right? And she can like kind of slide herself to the garbage station, and she throw the garbage, pick up a box, the parcel, and she go back home, and then she tell her dad, "Oh, your package is here." Imagine USA. Oh my goodness, I can't even imagine. He did number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf.
Tenet number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf. Well, Sajwan, just to expand on what Hasaja was saying, I think that it's a breakdown in society where people in, well, the younger generation like myself and even younger came into a society where we kind of just depended on the infrastructure, like basic things. You don't know how to clean, wash, cook, and because there are people around who offer this service, like the doctor, yeah, let me come and see you, or a mechanic who say, yeah, let me come and fix the car. No, nothing wrong with those positions, but if you don't know just basic stuff about those areas, so you won't get scammed or swindled, you would be in a better position. I mean, like a situation like you trying to build a house. It has so many contractors, especially in the States. Like, I don't like the design of houses in the States because they all seem like they're built out of cardboard, which is weird for me because majority of the houses I've lived in my life, they're all built out of concrete. Like houses in Europe or houses in the Caribbean, they're all built out of concrete. And it's quite funny how some of these houses that are built in the States, yeah, they're up to code, but it feels like they're built out of cardboard. And I think that most people don't really have an idea of how to build a house or idea of how a house should look like. And I'm not saying you need to have, be a architect to know how to build a house, but at least know enough so that people can't take advantage of you. And yeah, just basic stuff like self-defense, or knowing your surroundings, knowing how to escape in case something should happen, or even like what Hasa just said, having like a bag on the go in case you need to flee, because you never know. Because people think that society is this impermeable ecosystem that nothing would ever happen. Things are always going to be good. The lights are always going to be on, but that's not necessarily true. like the hurricane that happened like in the early 2000s in Louisiana or Alabama, one of those places. It devastated that entire state, and majority of the people were not prepared for that. But yeah, it just kind of fixes in my mind. It fixes a state in my mind that you always need to be prepared. Always need to be prepared, and always have to be ready to move at the drop of a hat, whether it's for fighting e-crap or fighting a physical foe. Back to you, Tanya, number two, Charlie Hotel Golf.
Yeah. The thing is, the scary thing, a lot of the politicians, the one in charge of the place, is also just as dumb as the new generation. Like they can be a politician talking about something and they don't even know how that thing works, and they're the one in power to make decision for the whole country. You know that is very scary. Uh, yeah. Well, anyway, back to the fartlek issue. So the more you let, like we always say, you got to like spend time to invest in what you want to grow, right? So if let's say a full head, right? You copy the full head so many times, you spend the time learning it, it becomes like really memorized. It's like I do it for 2 months and I can still do it because I memorized it so well. It's in my heart, right? So when I write a full and there's a full head, do you have to think anymore? No, you don't. Your hand just and then just come out. So there's no way that you can unlearn that because you have invest so much. And imagine the full head and then the chickling and then the full bends, everything you invest into it like that. And eventually the whole full becomes like one flow. You don't have to think because it's so fast, right? Now you're purely in the pre-heaven mode because everything is really in your heart already. And now that's why it flies. So the pre-heaven power is like that. Okay. Whatever is in your heart, you use that part, it will be like the more you use, the more energetic you are. So the whole morning when I'm like doing the Tai Chi Fu, I don't get tired. I get more energetic and hype. After all that, I feel like I am like an expression, right? Like, oh, I took like 12 cups of coffee. It feels like that. I get very high. And then I go to the altar to Chick-fil and everything. And now I'm like super awake. Like I feel super bright and energetic and ready to move and all that. I feel awesome after that stuff. So that is the difference between when you're matured in the full work and when you're still like learning the parts and I don't know what this is, I need to look, I'm still confused. Whenever you use the post-heaven power, which is the negative and positive soul, okay? So negative and positive soul is like thinking, mental, right? So you have to like look and think and then, oh, I'm confused. What spell is this? I don't know, right? And then the positive soul is like you're controlling over your hand. So I need to be straight. Is this like right like that? Oh, how's my hand supposed to move? Is this curved or straight? Am I missing a block? Whenever you're like trying to control your hand, then the more you try, the more you're burning that positive soul. Okay, these two things are the post heaven powers, and the more you use, the less you have. So you get tired. Now the focus is the neutral soul. The confident is the neutral soul, right? The self-trusting and faith is the neutral soul. The more you use these, the more energetic you have. The more you have. Okay, so if you're doing a full, the more the self-trust, the self-faith, the confident, the way how you feel you're always right, that will boost the power for you and you will feel more and more energetic. On to K, Tina number 2, Kilo Alpha India.
Yes, number 2, Kilo Alpha India. My discussion was based on what you were saying, like the school the school. I don't think the school are going to the right direction towards preparing for the future. Like for example, the technology is getting more advanced when it comes to AI and stuff. I understand your your point of view based on what the this university that was concerned about plagiarism and all that stuff, based on HR, on AI researches and stuff. Like I remember when I was on we were doing a research on all everything. Like when we were doing our assignment. I don't know what they are doing now when since they have the AI in place, because I believe the core problem of everything is that is the plagiarism. Uh, because they use everything and they reference every research based on books and journals that are in libraries and stuff. So I don't know whether the AI does that for them, because I'm not sure how the AI. I mean, like, I've never had the experience, but obviously there's a lot of things that the AI can do, make things simpler, more simpler than they used to be in the past. So uh, I also tend not to agree with the way they approach the education. If they say that the technology shouldn't be there for the student to make things easier for them, because that is the future that is happening at this moment. So I don't think they are doing enough to promote it if they are concerned more about the more like supporting the AI in the academic field. Senior number 2 Kilo Alpha India, back to you.
Yeah, there's a guy on TikTok. He teach people about cinematography. He make movies. Okay, so this guy is like a movie editor, videographer, things like that. So yeah, he was saying if you think AI is so impressive and you feel threatened about losing your job, maybe you should consider that you're just not good enough for your job. That's what he say. Like he used AI too, but it's not going to replace his creativity. So he like very confidently, he said, AI is good, but I'm not going to lose my job because of AI because I am the one that is good. And I can make use of AI to make my work better, but it's not going to replace me. No one can just pick up AI and then like do my job kind of like that. So a lot of the artists are like kind of ewing, they're like, it's going to take over my job. It take all my work and all that. Well, yeah, but if you have skills, you're supposed to be able to do better. If the AI can do better than you got a big problem as that professional. So, yeah, those people who are complaining about AI got a serious issue. Tier number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha.
Ticket number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha. Yeah, they've been having people talk about, computers replacing people and AI is replacing this and that, and we're all going to lose our jobs and whatever, whatever. And I'm like, that hasn't been the case. And while I see it as a tool, and some people say it's going to, run everybody out of the job. And, if you think like that, they even tried doing it. They tried using like a pilot of having AI or having a robot just run a whole McDonald's by itself. It got it wrong. It got it horribly wrong a lot of the time. They need a person there to fix, to watch it and make sure it's right. You might need less people. That's one thing. But as far as replacing it completely, possibly not. And not only that, you still need to build this thing. It doesn't necessarily need to build itself. Errors happen all the time. And so, like Shajan said, if you're afraid this thing is going to replace you, you're probably not good at your job in the first place. Or you don't know how to pivot and get out of that position so you don't feel as threatened about it. So, yeah, this will probably be my last round. So, giving everybody a 73. Hope you have an awesome afternoon and possibly net B for some of you. Tanya number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha.
AI run the whole business by itself. I wouldn't trust that. Yeah, based on some law wisdom, we know 168, you need a heart, right? You can't just like have no feeling and only have intelligence. So
Sergeant, you got cut off.
I was saying based on the Samlo wisdom, the 168 AI is missing the D1 heart. It doesn't have a Yunsan, the vision. So without that, you can't just replace human stuff. That's our wisdom. 168. It has intelligence. It can do stuff. So yeah, it does have the post heaven element, but it doesn't have the pre heaven. Anyway, tier number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf.
Tier number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf. Well, Sergeant, I would like to leave with a statement I saw online from one of those posts, either the New York Times or the Post or something like that. And they said that, well, with the advent of AI, they're trying to get it to a place where it could replace certain jobs for humans. And that means that if those jobs are replaced, a universal wage system could be set in place where you would be awarded a certain amount of money every year just for being alive, just for being a part of this community, just being a part of this society, well, and whichever country, because I don't know when or where or how that is going to kick off. I think Korea was experimenting with something like that, where they had like they gave them a living wage for us for like a year or a 6 months period just to test it out. I never followed back up on the results of it, but I just remember that as well. So yeah, having a universal wage for people in different countries who don't necessarily have to work for their for a sustainable life, like food, shelter, and clothing, but they're working for a job that they actually want to do. I think that sounds like a bright future because it's just replacing the jobs that most people probably can't physically do because they're so backbreaking. And with that quote unquote free labor, it's providing a source of income for people in the society who probably really needs it. I think the correct terminology is called a universal wage or something like that. But it was a very interesting idea and a read. And just to save time, we're giving everybody a 73. This is Tiny at number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf.
Okay, actually, you're very on time. It is now 2:01 p.m. already. I will pass the mic to Kai and we'll end the net. Team at number 2, Kilo Alpha India.
Team at number 2, Kilo Alpha India. In conclusion, I mean, like this morning, I was listening to like the concern about the jobs replacement, and especially here they say they are bringing the food trolley to supermarkets that is going to replace all the tills. Like you are driving your trolley, everything that you are putting in the trolley, you are scan. It has a scan. You scan everything and you put it in your trolley, to avoid all the queues because the people are queuing and it's taking too long. So After you finish, then you scan your debit card there, and then you go out. You are finished paying. So if you take a look at it, you will realize that that is something like that can chase away a lot of people. Like, it's beneficiary to the employee, but obviously it's gonna chase out everybody. Out of the most people are gonna be out of jobs in a situation like that. So it was concerning. Most people were concerned, and also the security, because the people might steal a lot of items in that regard. Unit number 2, Kilo Alpha India. Back to you.
Yeah, definitely. Those kind of jobs. Well, you see, some jobs they kind of get outdated in history because the world changed. And like when telephone first began, it's not like now, like we have cell phone and everything. It's basically manual work. People have to learn how to like put wires into different places to connect your phone to the different phones, and then there's like a whole center with people plugging wires every day manually. And to dial long distance call, you have to like have an operator to help to connect you at the center. And those jobs are never long lasting. You know, back then there were people who spent their whole life trying to learn that and then get that job, and then they work there. But now this thing don't exist anymore. So what can you say? Oh, people just cannot survive anymore because there's no job like that anymore, right? No, there's other jobs open, right? So when the world change, something go away because it's not needed anymore, there's always some new opportunities. So instead of looking at what we're losing, we should look at what we're having in the future. There's always new stuff that will come up, and you can always make a living with the new ideas, new opportunities. So there's never a problem with jobs. It's only that the people who are not willing to adapt to the new lifestyle that is concerned because they're afraid, they're not willing to change themselves, right? Yeah, today I watched a video about like how people learn to drive in the old days, the old driving schools. And then they have like a model car, toy car, and you drive that toy car around like a small model town. And then you have like a huge place where you go drive, and they have like a projector on the projector, like they project the screen from the driver's view, and you kind of pretend driving. All these things don't exist today. You know, they don't use the same thing today. So what happened? Are you going to cry about it, right? Yeah, a lot of things are gone. New things come. There are always new potentials. So there goes the end of the net. It is now 2:05 p.m. We'll give everyone a 73. See you back online or on net B. This is TN number 9. Yankee Uniform Echo is clear.